For you to have a chance of understanding gangstalking, you must first come to the conclusion that psychiatry is a fraud. By the top psychiatrists, psychiatry has been called subjective, highly political, attempting to cure normal problems with pills. And you have to truly understand that, if you drink or you smoke crack or you smoke a ton of weed, there's many other ways to kill symptoms, Simply running a fucking marathon could be one of them. So just for the fact that they can kill symptoms with harmful psychiatric medications does not mean that that's the best way to cure them. In fact, it's the worst way to cure them. And it's one of the top causes of death in society to this day. I brought up in other videos that 9 out of 10 pharmaceutical companies spend more time on marketing than they do on research because they're trying to make money and they're trying to get a lot of people to do it. I've studied psychiatry for 20 years and, I've been to many psych wards. I've interviewed and did many studies, sociological studies on psychiatry. And believe me, it's a fraud. The people behind it are unscrupulous. A lot of them were Germans who coined the term Johann Christian Reil. There's a lot of mind control and psychiatric experiments in the concentration camps. Look up Hitler's doctors, Hitler's Nazi psychiatrists, Nazi doctors, all these books, and catch these phrases to Google. So, with that being said, that is important, irrefutable fact. The psychiatry is a fraud. They don't know what the hell they are talking about. Yes, there's a lot of drug addicts who take pills who feel better. Yes, there's personality traits. Look up personality trait theory. They take advantage of people's personalities. And that's part of how they choose their targets for gang stalking, but I'll get into that later. So part of what gang stalking wants is to occupy you with what they're doing, to waste your time, which is going to help them, financially sabotage you. They also want you to get frustrated and worried about what they're doing to help them get you to go to the psych ward. They're not real Christians or Muslims. This is important. Some of them work at churches. Some of them are ordained ministers. Some of them call themselves Christians and come from Christian families, but they themselves are not Christians or real Muslims. They want to control you and get you under the scrutiny of people in secret societies. Many of the people that are doing it are recruited from mental health services, psychiatric institutions, and they don't necessarily know that it's secret societies behind this. They might know that the government's behind this, CIA, Homeland Security, things of this nature, but they don't know that secret societies are the ones who design these programs. But they know what they're doing is wrong. So, there's no excuse for them. So basically, there's a lot of secret societies, cults, hate groups, prison gangs, and law enforcement agencies who are part of it. It is about getting you to subscribe to certain programs and mind control. Cyber attacks are part of it. They don't like people such as myself who are more talented than they are. Especially in my culture, I've brought it up, that since I'm the top martial artist in America, I'm considered a transcendent hero in my culture. And there are many of those, you always have your haters who want to downplay these facts. And there's people in my tribe who are sellouts who will take advantage of the fact that we no longer live in a time when people like me are respected as transcendent heroes, and they bootlick to the establishment. So you'll have your haters in your own culture as well, and they'll try to use them against you to downplay your importance, your relevance, and your worth. So again, no one has defeated me since I made my challenge. No one has ever made a challenge the way I have and put their own money, especially this much money, their own money on the line. I'm smarter than they are, and they are jealous. To put it simply, they want to sabotage the competition to whatever they are doing. If they're into martial arts, because of course they're into martial arts, they're into spirituality. They know that I speak on spirituality. I speak against feminism and homosexuals, and these are some of the key players in Freemasonry and secret societies who, also, if you look, when I said earlier, it was one of the Rothschilds, I made a video about it. I'll put the video in the comments, the link. She was wearing a satanic necklace one day, and she was wearing a Baphomet necklace another. These people are satanic, and some of them are blatantly satanic to the point where no one can deny it. These are the richest people. These are the people who, with the Bush family and other families set up the CIA in the first place, much less the mind control programs. And I'll get into some presidents talking about the military-industrial complex and these secret societies at the end. Hopefully I have time. Let me breeze through this. I want to save myself at least 3 minutes to do that. Where are we? Okay, so the people who designed these programs behind the CIA, the secret societies, the mind control programs, they ultimately want to twist Christianity or Islam, or to get you to subscribe to one of their schools of thought, New Age religions, atheism, agnostics, etc. People who have personalities that can get them into mental health systems are targets, political dissidents. This is an old trick, and many of our institutions are old. The old people doing this like to talk about their experiences doing it with their children. It's just like military vets, cops and their children. Say a father a cop and his daughter's a cop or his son's a cop, and they talk about, military vets. Like, when I went to war, this is what we did, and they like to talk about these things. Okay. So if you look at Eisenhower's presidency, it was from 1953 until 1961. MK Ultra was from 1950 to 1973 when it officially halted, but it never officially, it never halted. It just officially halted. Now, if we go to Eisenhower, I think I'll start there. This is what he has to say about the CIA, which is military intelligence, part of the military-industrial complex, psychology, psychiatry, weapons manufacturers, domestic programs that, such as University of Phoenix, schools that give discounts, as much as 90% discounts for military, personnel. It's all part of the greater military industrial complex, these, the military housing, the malls and the military bases. Anyway, this is Eisenhower.
Until the latest of our world conflicts, the United States had no armaments industry. American makers of plowshares could, with time and as required, make swords as well. But we can no longer risk emergency improvisation of national defense. We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. Added to this, 3.5 million men and women are directly engaged in the defense establishment. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development. Yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our societies. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
All right. I don't have time to explain. I'll explain in the comments.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's JFK.
the very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions.
I'm out of time. Look up JFK's speech about secret societies. Thank you.